All right, so today is going to be page 24, which is exploring y-intercepts. And make sure that you fill out your table of contents here, saying that today's date, the title, and then the page number, 24. All right, so what's going to happen with today's notes is I'm going to do the first two with you, and then I want you to do the rest on your own, okay? So the directions say to plug in 0 for each x value to find its corresponding y value on the table. Then plot the point on the graph and label it with the problem letter. So looking at this first one here, we have y equals x plus 4. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to make a little table for myself, x, y. And we're trying to figure out when x is 0. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my equation here, y equals 4x plus 1. But instead of an x, I'm going to put a big parentheses. Okay? And in that parentheses, I'm going to put in this 0. So now let's do this math. 4 times 0 is 0, so now we have 0 plus 1. Y equals 0 plus 1 is 1, so my y value is a 1. The ordered pair for this is exactly how it looks here, except with parentheses. So we have parentheses 0, comma 1, okay? When we graph this now, we have to start at our origin. We don't have to go to left or right because our x is 0. All we have to do is go up to here and plot a dot. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to call it point A because this was problem A. Now let's look at the next one, B. So we have y equals 2x plus 5. I'm going to make an x and a y on my table. We're trying to figure out when x is 0, what's its y value. So we have y equals 2 parentheses plus 5, because again, I'm using that parentheses to get rid of this x. And I'm going to plug in that 0 for the x, right? 2 times 0 is 0, so we have y equals 0 plus 5. 0 plus 5 is 5, so my y value is just a 5. Another way you can think about this is starting at time 0, right? This x is by itself, so we're starting at time 0, and then time 0's partner is 5. That's another way to think about it. The ordered pair, again, we just copy this guy, 0, comma 5, parentheses, don't forget the parentheses. And when I graph this, right, I'm starting at time 0, and I'm going up to 5. So I'm going to plot a dot right there, and I'm going to call it letter B. So I want you to go ahead, go through all of these, and then we'll talk about this final section together. Okay, so again, pause the video, try it on your own, see how you do. All right, so here are the answers for C through D. I'm sorry, C through H, and then I will go through all of them real quick, and then we'll go through what you notice about the points that you plotted. Why do you think this happened? Okay, if you know how to do this, look at the text below so you can just jump to the information that we put in the box. So for C, we plugged in 0 for our x. We got negative 2 times 0, which gives us the 0. 0 plus 6 is 6. So we have 0 and 6, write it as an ordered pair, 0 and 6. And then when we graph it, we start at time 0 and we go up to 6, and that's where C gets plotted. Looking at D, we plug in 0 for our x, so we have 5 times 0, which gives us 0. 0 minus 3 is negative 3, so our y value is negative 3. Thus our ordered pair is parentheses 0, comma, negative 3, close parentheses. When we plot it, we start at our origin, times 0. We don't have to move left or right, and then we go down to 3. E, plug in 0, so we have negative 4 times 0, which gives us 0. 0 minus 2 is a negative 2, so we got negative 2. Our ordered pair is 0, comma, negative 2. So when we graph it, we start at the origin. We're at time 0, so all we have to do is drop down to negative 2. F, we have 9x plus 10, so 9 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 10 is 10, so y is 10. Our ordered pair is going to be 0, comma, 10. When we graph it, we start at our origin. We don't have to move left or right because we started at time 0. We go all the way up here to 10. G, we have 3x plus 7, so we have 3 times 0, which gives us 0. 0 plus 7 is 7. So starting at times 0, we have 7. Write it as an ordered pair. Thus again, we started the origin. We started with times 0, so all we have to do is go up to 7, and that's our G. Last one we have is 4x. So we just have 4 times 0, which gives us 0, and that is our answer. We don't have to do anything else. So our ordered pair is going to be 0, 0. So that means at our origin, we start at times 0. We don't go up or down. Here is 0, 0. Okay? So what do you notice about the points that you plotted? So first thing I want to say is that they are the numbers without a parentheses, without a variable in our equation when x starts at time 0. Right? Miss Rolf, what do you mean by time 0? Well, just like our arithmetic stuff, this x is just an x. It does not say, x minus 1. So this is telling me I started at time 0. So you can really find your y-intercepts very quickly when your x is starting at time 0. It's just the number that's behind. It's the number you start with at time 0. Okay. Also, notice that your y-intercepts on the graph, so on the graph, they're all on the y-axis. Y-intercepts are on the y-axis. Every time, no matter what, always, okay? They are always going to be on the y-axis, which is this line right here. Always, y-intercepts. If it's an x-intercept, which we'll talk about at a later date, it'll be on the x-axis. Keep that in your big old chrome domes, okay? Keep that in your brains. Okay, that's all of our notes for today. I hope you have a good rest of your day.